Hello, my name's Jenny and I'm one of the co-writers of the Homeopathy for Animals course. And I'm particularly interested and excited to be part of this project because my own journey with homeopathy started with treating animals on my family farm in Devon over 20 years ago now, when I began by going to see a homeopath myself for my own health and was very pleased with the results. But also, the homeopath I went to see was a third-year student at the school, and because she was learning homeopathy at the time and she was excited about taking one of her first cases, she sort of involved me in the process of finding the remedy for me and taught me about the philosophy of homeopathy at the same time. And so I felt involved and became interested in all the big books that she was using, as she talked to me about homeopathy. And so I very soon started using it myself for the animals on the farm. And at the time we were a dairy farm, an organic dairy farm, and so there was about 80 female cows on the farm that were either in the early stages of pregnancy, going right through pregnancy, having calves, nursing their young or producing a lot of milk. And so inevitably there were quite a few patients for me to start treating as soon as I knew the remedies to use for them. And so it was a very experimental journey, but I quickly gained a lot of experience in doing that and started using remedies for the dog, the chicken, the cat, anybody else that might need it. And then sort of about 10 years after that, I then decided that actually I wanted my career to be as a homeopath. So then I trained and now I treat human beings, people with 2 legs rather than 4. One of the things that I found has been the most useful thing about using homeopathy for animals is the fact that you aren't using any drugs. And that's one of the main reasons I think why people choose homeopathy for their animals or for themselves, because it's a drug-free way of treating. Another reason is that it's so easy to give to animals. Very often they don't know that they're taking a homeopathic remedy, or if they do, it's a very gentle and very easy way to administer the remedy. And so it's very easy when you've got a frightened or timid animal to be able to actually give them the remedy in an easy way. And of course it's very effective, otherwise we wouldn't be doing it. The homeopathy has actually been used for animals right from the early stages of when Samuel Hahnemann, the founder of homeopathy, started practicing. And he first talked about using homeopathy specifically for animals right back in 1813, which was around the time of the very beginning of the Industrial Revolution. When people were looking, well, we'd had the agricultural revolution where people were trying to intensify farming and find new methods of increasing production. And so there was then more interest in actually being able to heal animals, whereas previously they would have just been culled. They would have been taken out of the herd or the flock, and not much sort of interest was made in actually treating them. And so he gave a talk back in 1813 about the use of homeopathy for animals, and since then time it was kind of used alongside human homeopathy, but not to any great degree. It was one of those things that there might be somebody who knew about homeopathy and had a bit of wisdom in treating animals, and when the animals brought to them for treatment they would use a homeopathic remedy here and there. But not much was talked about animal homeopathy, and not much was written about it right through until around the 1970s, when George MacLeod was a vet who became very interested in homeopathy and started writing about it extensively and giving talks about using homeopathy for animals. And it's only now actually that there are more books that are coming on the market. So it's a very good place for you to start using homeopathy for your animals at home, because it's carrying on that history of experimentation and using homeopathy for yourself by discovering the philosophy, discovering the remedies that are most useful, and finding out how to apply those remedies to the particular animal patient. There's only a few homeopathic vets around at the moment, so that's another reason why it has to be very often a sort of a DIY aspect of treating your animal to use homeopathy. And it's something that you can also use alongside the help that you get from your vet. So it should never take the place of taking your animal to see the vet. But you can certainly you can certainly use the remedies for the animal alongside any veterinary help that they're being given.